Hey, so I'm back, and I want to do something a little differently this year, and that's to make this a little more fun. I know I care a whole lot about science, and because of that, I end up talking slowly and try and make sure I say everything just right and don't make any mistakes, give all the facts to something, but as some people have pointed out, it's kind of boring. So from here on out, we're going to be doing science and whiskey, and we'll talk a little bit about what I'm drinking at the end of each one of these. So, first thing is that I do these videos because I have this big idea that the information age is dead. That we can get facts, we can get information anywhere. It's not really what makes our lives better anymore. The problem is that now we've got information overload and we don't really know how to interpret it or what to do with it. So we're really in more of an interpretation age. We've got to be able to take data and sort through what's relevant and what's not. So that's one of the skills we have to have. We have to be able to be aware of our own personal biases going into looking at information. And then we've got to know our limits of what we're able to interpret. The big study that talks about that is Dunning-Kruger. If you have heard of it, you've probably heard of it as Dunning-Kruger effect, is that dumb people think they're smarter than they really are. But that's a misinterpretation. They do, but smart people also think they're smarter than they really are. And someone who is an expert in one thing tends to think that they're also an expert in other things too. So maybe your lawyer isn't where you get your medical advice, or your carpenter probably isn't the one you should talk to about financial advice. You know, people have things that they really are experts at, but that doesn't make them an expert at everything. The posture of science is to be a skeptic. And what that means is to ask questions and ask more questions. And the first thing you have to do is ask the questions of yourself. If you're not a skeptic of yourself, then being a skeptic of other people isn't worthwhile. It's just being a troll, really. So, and we can't be skeptic in light of facts when we're proven wrong. We have to accept that at some point. So that's the big idea. My plan is to be able to put out one of these every month so I can be consistent. And then we'll have something new to drink each time. I went with the classic today, which is an old-fashioned. But this old-fashioned I made with bourbon. You can do bourbon or rye whiskey. And I did it in really what we call pre-prohibition style, which is no muddled fruit. Well, obviously we shouldn't prosecute men for abusing women. Let's just take away their alcohol. So, 2 ounces of whiskey. In this case, we did straight wheated bourbon whiskey from Middle West Spirits. Not yet a sponsor. And simple syrup, just like a 1/4 ounce. And then a 1/4 or a 1/2 ounce of water, dash of bitters. Boom. Easy as it goes. Great, you're ready to go. Particularly with this one, the reason why I really have liked it, it's new to me, but it's a very smooth and kind of sweet bourbon. So it's 95 proof, so it's still, nothing to laugh at, but apparently the ingredient that is the real kicker for this is the dark pumpernickel rye. I've not seen that before in some drinks, and that must be a little bit of the extra smooth, extra sweet, caramely nature of this one. It's fantastic by itself, but it makes a really good old-fashioned. So that is the show for today. Tune in next time when I get to talk a little bit about the a new whiskey that I haven't had yet, and the something else about science. I don't know. We'll figure it out next time.